everyone, this is Chef Steven. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're going to be playing with some more pork belly. We're going to do some pork belly burnt ends. Now, normally, of course, you want to do this in your smoker. You can do it in your oven. Today, we're going to use our handy dandy air fryer, and we're going to play with that. In front of us, very few ingredients, very easy recipe. We've got our slab of pork belly. Got seasonings here in front of us. In here, we've got some paprika, some salt, pepper, chili powder, a little bit of some coffee, a little onion, garlic, and some maple bourbon sugar. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's really good. Anyways, to go with all of our pork belly burnt ends, we are going to make a little glaze to go with that with some blueberries. Now with that, we've got about 2 cups of blueberries, a cup of coffee, a cup of maple syrup, and some rosemary. Anyways, let's get this going, shall we? And the very first thing that we want to do is we want to cut our pork belly into little cubes. We're just going to get a few extra slices. Now the thing about these burnt ends is you don't want them too big, as they'll just take a little longer to cook. Then we're just going to get them like so. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to get them into a mixing bowl so we can season them, toss them, and get them ready. With our burnt ends, we're just going to give these a good seasoning, and we're just going to kind of make sure this all gets mixed in together. Now that they're seasoned, we're going to toss these into the air fryer at 350 for about 15 minutes. While our burnt ends are going, we're going to start our blueberry glaze. First thing that you want to do is get your blueberries, get it into a pan. We're going to let them cook down for a little bit over a high heat. Now that our blueberries are starting to kind of pop on their own, we're going to add our coffee along with our syrup and our rosemary. We're going to let that all kind of steep down. Next, we're just going to get our pork belly and toss this in for about 15 minutes. Be sure not to overload your air fryer. So we'll do these in batches. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes. Our blueberry coffee glaze is starting to thicken up just a little bit. We're going to continue to let it cook down until it's thick like a glaze. Our sauce is thickened up. It can coat our spatula. What we're going to do is add a teaspoon of lemon juice. Put that on a very low heat and stir that all up. We're also going to add just a pinch of salt to bring all the flavors together. I think our sauce is done. You got your sweetness, your bitterness, your brightness, a little salt to it. We're going to put this in a ramekin and set it aside. After about 45 minutes of being in the oven, this is what we're left with. There's some good color on them. They're starting to get crispy, which is what we kind of want, although with burnt ends, not always the case. We're going to throw them back in at a much lower temperature just to kind of get some of that softness going with our pork belly. Altogether, we have done a total of about 50 minutes to about an hour with our pork belly burnt end. We've got our blueberry coffee glaze. Let's put this all together. All we're going to do is just empty this right around on the plate. Last thing that we got to do is try it. Grab a toothpick, pick one up. We're going to dip it in our blueberry sauce, and bon appetit. Overall, the chili, the salt, the slightly sweetness of the pork belly that's also lightly crispy, which is not a bad thing at all, complement this blueberry coffee glaze, if you will. Altogether though, fantastic. I highly recommend doing this at home and telling me what you think. Speaking of which, make sure that you follow me on social media. Chef Steven Gonzalez on Facebook, Chef Stegons on Instagram. Also go to chefstevengonzalez.com to get a copy of my cookbook, Get Your Grub On, and we'll catch you next time.